Russia and China are the other two nations that rule space in addition to the United States. Their large and efficient satellite systems present various challenges for NATO. Russian and Chinese satellites in Earth's orbit were not a major concern for the United States and its allies until the start of 2022. However, everything's changed as a result of the military conflict between Russia and Ukraine and the clashes between China and Taiwan. Because of this, the most intelligent people on the planet have long been interested in developing anti-satellite defense systems. Elon Musk is one of the most important people dealing with this issue. He believes that just destroying enemy satellites is the best way to stop them. He's attempting to transform his SpaceX Starship into a battle space rocket for exactly that reason. Space exploration began with military objectives and was strongly associated with the spread of nuclear weapons. And yeah, the Army is a driving force behind development in many aspects. Military technologies also include the internet, satellite navigation systems, and even microwaves. Therefore, it's not unexpected that some of the first man-made satellites of Earth had a military purpose. However, nuclear weapons were still avoided. They were mostly used for reconnaissance, or they captured pictures and then scattered the film. However, since that time, technology and the military have advanced significantly. Approximately 1/5 of all satellites are military, according to open source evidence. They're capable of performing many other jobs in addition to gathering intelligence. They're in charge of communication, navigation, defense against ballistic missiles, and several other things. Elon Musk, CEO of one of the biggest space corporations in the world, SpaceX, is well aware that whoever controls space also controls the world, which is why he started working with the Pentagon. The White House recommended funding for defense needs for the upcoming fiscal year, which started on October 1st as part of the approval of the federal budget for 2022. The U.S. Air Force published a document detailing budgetary spending explanations in which they compared the request for the coming year with the previous one. The document's 305th page has an article titled "Rocket Cargo Rockets for Transportation." This project will receive a $47.9 million investment from the Air Force. The Department of the U.S. Air Force is also looking to evaluate the viability of using the biggest missiles that have ever existed in the world that are capable of being completely reused. With the help of this, it'll be possible to send 100 tons of cargo in less than an hour to any location on Earth. Starship is the only rocket being developed in the world with these characteristics, although this is not specifically listed in this paper. The Air Force doesn't intend to directly invest in the development of such missiles, according to the document. They promise to fund further scientific and technological studies required for the creation of new launch vehicles so that the Air Force can later utilize their capabilities. The Air Force will spend $9.7 million on this research in the upcoming fiscal year and even hopes to enhance this investment. The Air Force's investment in science and technology will be focused on developing new designs and tools for quick loading and unloading of rocket cargo, exploring the potential for quick launch from unprepared launch pads, identifying the characteristics of potential landing surfaces, and providing opportunities for quick preparation, as well as researching the possibility of dumping the cargo after re-entry into the atmosphere. It's not the first time that the issue of the military employing Starship has been brought up. Elon Musk paid a visit to the North American Aerospace Defense Command in April 2019. During that same meeting where he held the Starship model in his hands, he took part in a roundtable discussion with innovators in the military industry about future space missions. At the same time, it became evident that emerging private businesses may alter the dynamics of U.S. military operations. Then, in October 2019, Gwen Shotwell, President and Chief Operating Officer of SpaceX, addressed a military conference and mentioned that SpaceX's aim is to develop reusable transport systems that will be dependable and affordable. Additionally, it's been reported that SpaceX is evaluating the Army as a potential customer for both its next-generation Starship spaceship and its Starlink network. Elon Musk attended the BBC conference in November 2019 as a participant in the program for small business innovation research. Additionally, he participated in a discussion at the symposium of the Association of the United States Air Force in February 2020. This is why it can be assumed that Starship was discussed in greater detail offstage, even if nothing new was said about it during the official addresses. It's important to remember that Elon Musk has already said that most Starship missions will be for civilian purposes. While SpaceX doesn't intend to deploy its specially constructed rocket for military purposes, it'll still carry on military missions with the majority of rockets. However, the Pentagon and SpaceX's initial goals surrounding Starship shifted as early as February 2022. It became clear that Russia and China wouldn't give up their objectives. Thus, it was important to devote SpaceX's resources toward the development of combat missiles. Even back then, a lot of military experts claimed that it'd be simple to load the Starship with a weapon rather than cargo. If this is done, the rocket will become the most powerful weapon ever created to destroy satellites. The navigation systems of these rockets are among the greatest in the world, thanks to the artificial intelligence systems created by Elon Musk's Tesla and SpaceX. So, how precisely are they going to deploy Starship against Chinese and Russian satellites? The easiest target to destroy from a technological and methodical standpoint is not a spaceship in orbit. The majority of satellites follow a predictable path, which helps with weapon guidance to some extent. In addition, because these orbits are at heights of at least several hundred kilometers, specific restrictions must be placed on the structure and functionality of anti-satellite weapons. As a result, it becomes incredibly difficult to intercept and destroy spacecraft. But it's a problem that can be solved in a variety of ways. The adoption of specialized anti-aircraft weapons with improved characteristics capable of hitting targets even in orbit is the obvious solution for dealing with satellites. However, because of their intricacy and expensive price, systems of this kind have not historically been very common. But everything might change with the arrival of Elon Musk and the ability to affordably produce an efficient Starship rocket. The main operating concept is actually extremely simple. The spacecraft will be equipped with an explosive charge. An explosion will occur when the rocket is launched at groups of Chinese and Russian satellites. The explosion will completely destroy all Russian and Chinese satellites, and will only inflict minor damage on NATO satellites if you use a low-power charge, remote control, and Elon's cutting-edge AI algorithms to operate that rocket. The only effective way to destroy satellites is with this technique. All other methods are either extremely expensive, inefficient, or time-consuming. Still, the demand for anti-satellite weaponry is clear. Leading nations continue to develop these systems despite their complexity, and the best models have even entered service. Despite having limited potential in terms of height and precision, current anti-satellite missiles often succeed in the mission at hand. However, when it develops further, new samples with unique properties and abilities should appear. Time will tell which anti-satellite weapon variants would be created and go into operation. The Elon Musk Starship rocket is widely regarded as the leading contender for the title of the future anti-satellite weapon with the highest level of effectiveness. And in terms of space development, SpaceX is a global leader. Even if their anti-satellite missile project isn't successful, they'll definitely be able to provide another method for destroying spacecrafts of Russia and China. An object in orbit can be destroyed using a variety of techniques, including a specialized orbiting spacecraft. Such concepts were developed in several nations, and in the Soviet Union, they were even given priority, which had the most interesting results. Even so, it seems that the work on interceptor satellites is still ongoing today. SpaceX is perhaps the only company in the world capable of bringing the production of interceptor satellites live because of its enormous network of Starlink satellites. We can discuss not just the mass production of said satellites, but also their great efficiency, especially in light of how quickly AI systems are evolving in Elon Musk's companies. However, there must be a way to get interceptors into orbit. Thus, Starship will also be used in this situation. NATO nations will be able to launch more conventional and interceptor satellites into orbit thanks to their affordability and speed, compared to China and Russia. In other words, Elon Musk will make sure that the war for space is won. So, how long do you think it'll take Musk to completely change the way we look at space defense? Please go ahead and share your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. See you next time.